Hey everybody, I wanted to put out a beginner's guide to the combat mechanics of Lies of P, um, and I'm just at the beginning of the game. I just hit New Game Plus on one of my characters, and want to go over a few things here because combat is not something you're going to be used to. I mean, you're going to be used to it, sort of. There's going to be things from you could compare it to any manner of games. You can compare it to Bloodborne, you could compare it to Sekiro, or you could compare it to like Elden Ring and Dark Souls. Um, and in a lot of cases, I mean, it is the same combat. R1 is a quick attack, R2 is a heavy attack, a charged R2, L1 is block, and L2 is actually different. It is not a parry. It is your Legion arm, which I have the puppet string on, and if I would hit L2, it would activate my arm's ability. So one of the main things, and I'll show this right now, is guarding. Okay, and then we have dodging too. But dodging is, while it's useful, it's a lot less useful than you would think. So as you can see, I just guarded his hit, and I kind of took damage, but now I'm getting it back. It's like the rally mechanic in Bloodborne. If you just block, you will be able to recover that health back as long as you attack the enemy in a certain amount of time and without getting hit again. Like, you can get hit many times while you're guarding, and your guard regain won't disappear, but if you're hit without guarding, then it'll go away. Now, one of the key factors that I think a lot of people struggle with is what they call the perfect guard in this game, which is a parry or deflect like that. And the timing is very tight. And it's not like Sekiro. You don't want to spam L1 like that. You're guaranteed to get hit if you do that. You can get away with that in Sekiro. You want to kind of hold it for like a half second. You don't just want to tap it. You want to kind of hold it. Because if you go too early, it's better to hold it and block the attack than it is to try and, time it right. Because you're just going to get hit. You're just going to get hit. So that leads to the next thing. Every enemy has an invisible stagger bar. If I can get him to stagger, I don't know if I can. But it builds up with perfect guards and just general getting hit. Especially charged R2s will do a lot of stagger damage. See if I can get him to stagger. I hate these puppets. He's not swinging enough. Maybe it's best to show it on the boss of this area. But each enemy has stagger damage. And that builds up through attacks and perfect guards. Dodging will not do any stagger damage, and is actually, if you think about dodging, I would think about it more like the Sekiro dodge, where it was sometimes useful, but not something you relied on. I will say that if you're having trouble with an enemy's attacks, and you just can't guard or perfect guard, parry, deflect, whatever, then try dodging a little bit, because sometimes bosses do require you to dodge a little bit. Alright. Now there's also a backstab mechanic in this. I think it's a little janky, but if you get behind him and you see these orange lines, R1 or RB, whatever you're using. I don't know what a keyboard user would even use. So I'll try to get an example of the... I thought there was somebody... Oh, not yet. So another thing is... so there's blue bars up in the top left under my health bar. If... let's charge that up. If you look in the bottom right, it corresponds with certain moves. And it charges on successful hits on enemies. Is there anybody in here? No. Okay. So let's look at our weapon here. We have the rapier, and its triangle ability on the blade is a storm stab, which costs 3 fable slots. The handle is a guard parry, which only costs 1 fable slot. A charged, or a guard parry is kind of tough to pull off. I don't really use it, but the triangle attack for the blade's fable art is actually pretty useful. Now, I used up all my fables, and I can't recharge here because I'm not at the thing, so I'll just spend these, I guess. So you can assemble different weapons. All these weapons I picked up in my first run. It's not that many. I wasn't really going for many of them. Most of these that are not boss weapons, these are all boss weapons down here. Most of these handles and blades can be swapped, and that's great. Like, I really love this weapon overall, but let's say I'm a technique build here. So let's say that I like the scaling of another handle better. There is something like this, the booster glaive. After I upgraded the handle scaling, it's now an A in technique. Now that'll take off some of the fire attack damage, but since I don't have any points in advance anyway, which is what that scales off of, it's not really hurting me too much and would just give me more physical damage on top of the fire attack damage, or on top of the fire attack damage. You could do that with any of these weapons. You could take, like, this is technically a motivity weapon, but if you just want to put that big pipe wrench head on the Dancer's Curve Sword, which is more of a technique scaling blade, people do it, dude. It hits like a truck and it swings differently. Your moveset is more determined on your handle than it is on your blade. Sometimes a heavier blade will slow down your handle a little bit, I think. I haven't tested it to be sure. It feels like it's slower, but so that's all well, and like, that's very important to understand the game. If you're really happy with the way a handle's moveset is, but you want another blade, put another blade on it. You know, try a different blade. Or, you know, you really like a blade. Like, I really do love this blade that I'm holding right now. Like, I love this. I like this weapon overall, but it would be nothing for me to put it on this Dancer Curve Sword handle, or another technique-based hand. Actually, I think the Dancer Curve Sword's the best moveset, so I'd probably just put it on that one. Maybe the Booster Glaive handle. Now, I'm not at a Stargazer now, so I can't actually demonstrate that, but hopefully that explains a little bit about weapons and how they function in this game. Now, I've kind of explained dodging. Dodging has its moment and places and times, but you got to be selective on when you use it. It's not like the iframes of Elden Ring. It's more like, I think of it more like Sekiro, where you kind of had super fast iframes on it type deal, and it was more for dodging through attacks Because if you did, you know, if you were trying to dodge around an enemy in Sekiro, you were just not going to do it. It wasn't going to happen. Um, so for me, I think that guarding is your best friend in this game. And the very first field boss here is here to demonstrate that. So you can see I got a couple perfect guards. Broke his weapon just with perfect guards. He should stagger soon enough. There, the white bar. You can stagger him now. Charged R2, and then get up to him R1. That's called a fatal attack. So each enemy has their own stagger bar, and you can't see it, but it builds up, mostly with perfect guards and through just getting hit with a weapon. And that's a key mechanic in this game. That's how you're going to get the biggest chunks of health. Now this guy is obviously a little more tanky. This is New Game Plus. But I think that's probably the key component, is focusing on guards and blocking and staggering an enemy. Oh, he broke my attack. Typically when they get the white bar, they'll get pretty aggressive, and you'll find it hard to find your window to get a charged R2 in, but you'll figure it out. Get your moments. Now, like I said, if you're too early, just hold the block button. Don't be... You're gonna screw yourself trying to tap the parry button. Honestly, I think if I were gonna suggest anything to anybody, to just come here to this guy and learn to parry off him, and you're gonna understand the game a little bit better. So something I want to stress is that this game is hard. This game is difficult, man. This game is not... I mean, I'm pretty good at Souls games. I'm pretty good at, you know, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Demon Souls. I'm Bloodborne. You know, I'm really good at these games. You can't come in and expect to be good. I don't care how good you are at these games. You're not coming in to Lies of P, and you're not going to be good right away. You got to get familiar with the game. You got to learn how to play the game. It's not hard. It's actually a lot of fun. Like, I have the Platinum Trophy. I am still here. I am still playing this game. I am still trying to master enemies and just having fun in general with the combat. It's a well-polished game. I honestly... It's kind of frustrating that it seems like so many people have been paid by the Lords of the Fallen publishers or something to promote the hell out of that game, when this is better than a lot of the games From Software has made. And I'm not joking around about that. I think this is better than like every Dark Souls game. This is below Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Elden Ring. But this is better, dude. I mean, there are some things it misses on. There's a lack of exploration, but the level design is awesome to make up for it. And dude, it's just well polished. The combat is smooth, and once you understand the timing, and the parry window is very short. Once you understand that, and you're learning how to time that parry window, and and knowing when to be aggressive when to be defensive when, you know, how to neutralize enemies.
Yes, as we gather at the start.
So weapon assembly. So like I was saying, like I really love this blade itself, the black steel cutter blade. Where is it? The booster glaive, or this. I want to try it on the booster glaive handle actually. Where is that thing? So now my weapon scales with, look, okay, so my fire attack initially, it was 130 plus 7. Like I have no scaling in advance anyway because I don't have any stats in advance. But now my physical attack is at 130 plus 49 instead of what, I think it was like 130 plus 9 maybe. And it comes with the moveset of the booster glaive, which has this cool charged R2 where you're like gap closing. So now I have extra physical damage and I have fire damage, which, I mean, I think it's awesome to be an advanced build, but you can still put advanced, you know, weapon heads onto any kind of handle you want and get decent results. So yeah, I mean, that's just something you want to play around with. I mean, if you like the fable art of like a handle and you want to put it on a blade that you like that's just, that's all up to you. So yeah, man, I mean, dude, don't sleep on this game. This game is terrific. The story is great. This game advances the Souls genre, like in a good way, I think. And I just wanted to get some of these combat things out of the way. Hopefully, like, I'm really bad at explaining this stuff ahead of time, so I thought maybe if I could demonstrate it a little bit. One thing I have not demonstrated was fury attacks. In fact, I don't even... That guy did not do a fury attack. So you'll see a fury attack when an enemy turns red. And whenever they make that attack, if you're guarding, it doesn't matter. It's going to hit you. And you can't iframe through it either with a roll, with a well-timed dodge. You either have to be out of the hitbox range, or you have to perfect guard it. Otherwise, it's going to hit you. It's an intimidating feature at first, and I wish I would have found an enemy that would have done that to me, because I think that guy has fury attacks. I'm surprised he didn't hit me with any. And I don't want to run through this game to hit the first boss of this level. I think I want to end this video here. Just wanted to explain some of the basics of combat and weapon design and things that I'm just like not very good at explaining. You know, I think in the moment, I feel like I'm always going to explain it and then never do very well because I'm, you know, busy focusing on the combat or whatever is going on in the game. But I'm going to end it there, and hopefully that is a helpful guide to get you guys started in this game if you're going to watch this series. Or I know nobody's going to watch it, but I like doing this anyway, so